So here we go, part 2 of the suspension saga. It's not really a saga, is it? I'm just making it into one because I'm taking so long with the videos. Trying to be a bit shorter on these today, and I thought I'll just do a little bit of test fitting first, and then I'll get the video back on and show you what's going on. It's quite late at night again. It's a bit, as you can see, it's a bit fresh, but I'm having a crack. I've also decided this halogen light it's got to go. I mean, it's dangerous. It's so damn hot. And it had 2 lenses on it, like glass lenses. It's the old school. I need some LED ones. Yeah, but right now I've got a torch if I need it. I thought I'd show you this. So what I've done since the last video, I said I was going to take the anti-roll bar off. So the whole bar is off. I took it off because I thought it would be an easier way to get these little drop links off that you can't quite see. Just a little bit off camera. Those little drop links that are there, I thought that would be an easy way to get them off, and it wasn't so difficult to get them out. But then meant taking these things here. There's 2 brackets, and I thought I'll start the video now because I made a mistake. It's a little one, but it's one to spot. On one side, they've got these little brackets like that, and they've got a rubber bushing. And again, I was looked at replacing them, but they're looking decent nick. And they're about 14 quid each, so yeah, I thought I won't replace them. But I put them on. Actually, I'll show you that on there. On the anti-roll bar, there is a little like lump part to it, which means that you can't basically slide the anti-roll bar. It's sort of stuck in position. And I've put it on the wrong side. So that was fun. That's rectified now, I hope. What else I found when I was taking these brackets off is that it's a relatively straightforward job, but let me show you what I've got. When it comes to taking the bolts out, there's a little bolt here, not a very big bolt, but the bolt itself has got a star shape on it. Now, it's got a star shape on it, and on top of that, the star shape socket just rounded off on the other side. Both of them is completely rounded off, and they sit into a nut which is a part of this bracket. So I tried to get some bolts the same size, and I went to a couple of different places today, and they didn't have them. Couldn't find them anywhere. So I've gone for this as an alternative instead, and hopefully it'll get through that price MOT. Okay, just looking now to see. It should be alright. Let's have a quick look. Actually, get your head torch and get a. Alright, there is a bit of a gap there, so I might go and get a washer out of the garage and have a look if I can get a washer. And so I'm going to put these bolts straight through instead. So yes, the idea would be to put the same bolts back in again, but then to do so and get them back out will be really quite tricky. So I've decided to buy a packet of bolts and some nuts, and I'll double nut them as well to make sure that it's like a locking nut. Double go back on. But I've got a packet from Trusty B&Q. I actually went to some independent ironmongery and fixing specialists, and both of them, well, one of them, it's Argus, because you want to support your local businesses and, you know, buy from the sort of the smaller stores. The first guys didn't really have a clue what was going on. They did, but wasn't really too interested in helping out. And the second ones were closed. It might have been because it was lunchtime, and yeah, that is normal to have a lunch break, but you know, just when you need them, they're not available. Right, I'm going to pause this one and come back when I've got some washers. Right, where did we get to? I think we were on to these nuts up here. Where are we? Can you see them? In here, look. So I put bolts through, nuts on both sides. Well, not nuts both sides. 2 lots of. I'll keep my hand in front of the camera. 1 bolt, 2 nuts. I was quite fortunate in my, I mean, who hasn't got a box of roses or a tin from when they used to make them in tins. Yeah, I got a box and I found in there, I'm trying to find another one. Oh, this type of that a nut that's got like a washer on it, which is ideal. I had 3 of those that were the same size, and also M6 to go with the M6 screws that I bought, so they were brilliant. And I just put another nut, just a standard nut over the top of it, so that should double nut it for a while and keep it steady. Like I said, the actual bar now, the anti-roll bar, is solid as. Then in terms of the arms, the bits I put on, the little drop links, where are they? They're in here. Yeah, there you go. Those. So they actually wound into the bar quite easily. I don't like them. I think they're a horrible little piece of poop. The one this side, I did tighten it when the bar was off, and it's got like a little 17mm, which it doesn't even look like a 17. It's not quite right, not quite the right size. It just doesn't fit very nicely at all with the 17. So on this side I've done it off the car. On the other side I didn't, and I'm going to check my head torch now as well actually. Because the other side, where I'd fitted it, yeah, this one is, it's absolutely fine. Let's try and take it close up, see if we can see inside there. So on each of them, you've got 2, yeah, you got 2 lumps of rubber with a ball in, and then you've got your joint, or maybe this is the joint ball on this end even. But over each of them, same as any ball joint, I guess, they've got this little rubber pouch that holds the grease in, and around that is a tiny little metal O-ring. And I'm sure it's fairly standard, but on the other side, it hurt in terms of my pain of my time. It took me too long, because what I did with the spanner, when I knocked it off, I ended up pushing that rubber back, and that would be an MOT failure, because it would say something like, it doesn't prevent the ingress of dirt or something, which, I mean, it wouldn't do, because the cover had been pushed back. So it took me ages to try and chase it around. I also could have done like a half-an-hour episode where I could on chasing Lee's nuts, because where these core springs are, remember the old ones have got like holes in where the rust has gone through. On these ones, I dropped one of the nuts that go with the 15mm. Let's look at the 15mm. It's around here somewhere. There it is. So I dropped one of those inside it, and I had to fish it out. It had actually doesn't make a difference. I didn't even need the nut. I just needed I needed the nut to be out, just because I didn't want it to be in there. I don't know if it would fail an MOT for that or not. But when I bought these little anti-roll bar drop things, it came with a nut on each end, and I thought it was the wrong ones first of all, because obviously they don't need a nut on the anti-roll bar end, because that just screws straight in, there's no nut there. Whereas this one that's connecting to the little wishbone type of thing here, it has got a nut. This certainly seems a lot easier to put in than it was to take out. You can see I've got a, what size is this? 5mm hex, there you go, that goes through the bottom, and then just a ring spanner, 15mm ring spanner. Just make sure it's a 15. Yeah. And that one's using the hex on a socket just to hold it tight. I don't really want to move it. Like a guy, Craig in Sutton Auto Factors down the road, he said, again, the idea is hold it with the hex to make sure that it doesn't twist too much, because the last thing you want to do is manipulate it so that it pops out of that joint, and then we're back to the same thing again, an MOT failure, because it's not stopping the dust getting in. I'm not going to, I think I'm about done now for this repair, and I'm only a few twists away from getting this nice and tight, and then it's after that, it's just the wheels are going to go back on, take it for a little quick test drive and make sure that it, you know, it's not knocking and nothing's completely knackered from what I've done. And then after that, on Thursday, today is Monday evening, so on Thursday it actually goes for the MOT. So there are things, you know, I'm not 100% sure, I'm not an MOT tester. There are things that they might pick up, certainly from the advisories last time round. there were a few things on it. But then the advisories, it was only MOT'd 1,500 miles ago, so you know, maybe the advisories will stay. Obviously, two of the advisories were the coil springs and the links here, this link arm that I'm doing. So two of the advisories have been dealt with already, and we'll see what comes back. So again, if you've enjoyed it, great, thank you very much for watching. And if you haven't, sorry about that, I'll try and do better next time. Right, I'll see you after the MOT.